Yes, people. Welcome back to another edition of the ManDem United podcast, live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube, brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. And the ManDem United podcast is the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please make sure that you keep all your questions, all your comments, Manchester United related people. Big up to everyone who's always supporting Sarcasm City TV. And make sure whether you're watching this live right now or whether you're watching this back, hit the like button on the video. Make sure you do that. Smash that like button. Make sure you share it across all the socials as well, and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. It is road to 5k people. We have recently just passed 4k subscribers. We will be doing the 4k subscriber party at some point this month. But yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And it is the Thursday edition of the ManDem United podcast, people. And normally I'm joined by my West Coast brother Eddie. Salute to my guy Eddie every single time, but he's away on holiday. So you know what I had to do? I had to fly across the country. I had to fly across the US to go get some assistance. So I went from the West Coast to the East Coast and get this guy who called into the fan calling show, and I was blown away by his knowledge. You know what I'm saying? His knowledge, his poise on the mic, the way he spoke. You know what I'm saying? Still crack jokes in typical Sarcasm City banter as well. So I know you lot, you know what I'm saying, are going to be a fan of him as well. And you'll see him on the channel more. Man like King K is in the building. What are you telling me, my guy? You good?
Big up, Flawless. I ain't never had an intro like that, so big up, bro. I appreciate that. And big up everybody inside. Make sure you like and subscribe like Flawless said. Thank you for having me first and foremost.
Yeah, man, it's only right you get the correct intros, man. It's only right, man. Like when I have people over on the channel in it. Like I don't just welcome anybody into the city. You feel me? In that. So if you get welcome into the city and you're here on the platform, then it's like, right, it means I rate you. So it's only right. So we're gonna get into all things Manchester United people. Big up Sid, who was here early as well, who says big up Flawless. Large up Daredevil, who says big up Flawless and everyone else. Love from the USA here. Need a winger, so hopefully we can get Antony and a midfielder, someone like a Tillemans or Neves, as De Jong is unlikely to happen. We will get into that as well. The Tillemans link. Thanks for reminding me. I'm going to get into that. Big up to my guy Jez as well every single time. But let's get into it, King K, because I've seen it on the app. Well, that's the title of this episode anyway, is Antony still on the Manchester United radar because we were linked with him. Then reports was that the valuation that Ajax had was too high. It kind of went quiet. But then it's heated back up again, which is a good thing. But your thoughts, how are you looking at like Antony? Would you like him to land, or would you prefer another winger, or would you prefer other positions? Talk to us.
We need somebody in so many positions right now. That's the only reason why it's kind of hard for me to sit there. What they want, 70 euros, 70 million euros?
They're saying 70 million, 80 million. It's around that. So 78 million euros, 60 to 70 million pounds. That's what they're saying.
If you ask me, that's a little bit steep for a winger, but I love his attributes. Left-footed, but plays on the right, can still whip a cross in. He shoots from distance a little, but he has the tenacity about him. He has the flair about him. I like him. To be 100% honest, though, I don't think I'd spend 60 or 70 on him based on what else we need. There's other stuff that we need, to be fair. I like the signings that we got. You can tell that Erik ten Hag is trying to get more balance in the squad. Antony left-footed, Malacia left-footed, the center back
Martinez left-footed. That's a very valid point. I didn't look at it like that. Yeah.
So he's trying to, because we've always had a real big problem with balance, and to play in that possession-based scheme and that possession-based system, you can't have right-footed, left-sided center backs and stuff like that. So I'm digging the balance, but for 70 euros or whatever it is, I think it's a little steep when you compare that Memphis is going for about 15 million pounds. Just trying to play within the confines of the Glazeronomics. They're not going to do the 60 mil. They're going to do the 15 and bring back the food that we had 5 years ago. You know what I mean? That's what they. And I'm cool.
That is a move from them. That is a move from them. Go on, carry on, fam.
That's classic Glazeronomics. We know you want that left-footed, right-sided winger for 60 million. But how about we get you Memphis instead for 15? He already knows the plays, you know what I mean? He can just come right back and slot right in. And I'm not a hater of Memphis Depay, especially after he left us. He reinvented himself and became more of a center forward, bulked up. So I would rather have him be our striker replacement and have Martial and Memphis duke it out, to be honest with you. and then we can spend the remaining 40-50 on maybe that midfielder like Yuri Tillemans or Ruben Neves or something like that.
We're gonna get into that as well. We're definitely gonna get into that. But yeah, with Antony, I understand why Ten Hag wants him. You made a great point in regards to the balance and having a right winger who's left-footed, because the only one we currently have in the team is Diallo. So if you add Antony there, that makes two. Competition for places, I've been speaking of that. So then you got, say, Sancho and Rashford for the left-hand side, and then you have Antony for argument's sake and Diallo for the right-hand side. All of a sudden, we got two players vying for both them spots, and then backing that up, obviously, you got the likes of Lingard as well. And it's all about adding not only quality, but adding quantity. And that not only improves the first 11, it also improves the squad. And that's what it is. With Ten Hag, it's about getting people he knows. Like, people will say, oh, why is he just going to get Dutch players? Because he's going to get what he knows. If you're managing a place and then you move somewhere else, and the place where you move to, the company's not being run well, you will go and get your people from your previous job. Like, that makes sense. Like, that's just common sense. Who doesn't do that? That's like me getting offered a big bag to go and do this on a big platform. You know what I'm saying? And a massive bag to go do this. And then like, all right, go and get streamers. Who do you think I'm going to go get? The likes of King K, Ivorian, Eddie, Surfer, Peter, all the ManDem you see on here. That's just common sense. I'm not going to go get unknowns. And it's the same within that. He's going with what he knows. This is why he went and got Malacia, someone who's from the league he was at. Martinez, someone he managed. Antony, someone he managed. De Jong, someone he managed. Ericsson, someone who was training with him. He already knows Donny. This makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, would I prefer him in the future to then look outside the box? Yes, but at this moment in time, I have no issue. People are like, oh, you're just getting Ajax players, you're just getting Dutch players. There's nothing wrong with that. We've seen Wolves do that under Nuno when he went and just got loads of Portuguese players because that's what he knows. And guess what? It worked for them. They finished 7th twice. They had 2 very good seasons. They were in Europe twice. Like, obviously, they can't. And then he got his move off the back of that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, and people will always tell you, oh, there's no value in the market. The market's bad. He's going with what he knows, which makes sense. So with the Antony links, I'm all for it because I've said we need a right winger. We need it. You're correct. We need more than just that. But if I could get rid of the majority of these players, I would, and bring in new players. That's why I'm happy we signed a left back, a centre back. I still think even alongside Ericsson, we still need 2 midfielders. I think we need De Jong and one more. We still need a right winger. Whether Ronaldo stays or goes, you mentioned Depay, I still think we need a striker on top of that as well. So it's like, and we've been linked with a right back also, which I understand. I'm a fan of Dallo, but if he wants to sign a right back, I'm with it. I am with it. And big up Skinny Man Thoughts Network, who says King KB in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out,
big up
guy.
Skinny Man Thoughts Network. Big up, big up.
Shout out. That's my guy. That's my guy. I've known him for years. That's my homeboy from time. Yeah. That's my guy right there. Yo, big up, bro.
Big up, big up. So with that, yeah, I'm all for Antony. You mentioned it's the price thing. But again, this is all about Manchester United negotiating the correct price. And Ajax know we need the player. They know we want the player. And they know we have the money. So therefore, they're going to bump up the price, which from an Ajax perspective makes sense. This is where Manchester United now need to be shrewd with their business. We need to be smart. We need to be clever and deal with that and somehow negotiate that. Because if we get him for, say it's 50 mil, I'm cool with that. 50 mil, 60 mil probably max. When you're talking 70, 80 million north of that, that's when I'm like, I pull the plug and I'm like, I'm not sure he's worth that. However, if we were to sign him for that and he comes here and he's successful, then no one's talking about the price. It depends. It depends on what Ten Hag wants to do. In Ten Hag, I trust. It's on him. I'm fully with him, whatever he wants to do. So that's Antony covered. But we'll get on to the long-going Dragon Ball Z type saga. You know what I'm saying? That is De Jong. I've never seen anything like it. And not so much in United trying to get a player, because we've seen it with Jadon Sancho, where we chased him for 2 years. It's more so the crooks and the shenanigans that Barcelona are pulling. They owe this man money. They owe him 17 million. They owe him 17 million. They don't want to pay him 17 million that they owe him. But yet they're out here signing players left, right, and center. They're out here hijacking deals from other clubs left, right, and center. And it's like, how are you even getting away with this? How are you buying players with no money? And that's where I'm not so critical of Manchester United in this situation, because I've never seen anything like it watching football. Our club is doing this. So your thoughts on De Jong, King K? Multiple questions. 1, do you think he's the right fit? Number 2, do you see the deal happening? And number 3, how long are you willing to wait? Because some people are very impatient. Some people are in the middle. Some people are extremely patient. It seems that Ten Hag is the latter of what I just said there, because reports came out saying there's no plan B. He is integral to he's integral to his plans. But your thoughts?
I don't have a problem with that based on a few things. First and foremost, what we just said, I trust Eric Ten Hag, and Eric Ten Hag is a drill sergeant type coach, and I think he needs his Roy Keane on the pitch, for lack of a better phrase.
Okay.
And I can see not in character as in like tenacity and breaking somebody's legs up, but you know, that person who's going to be the extension of the gaffer on the pitch. I can see Eric Ten Hag waiting until the January transfer market window, if he doesn't get him, to get him then on some Virgil van Dijk type time. I can see that happening, because if he wants him that bad and he's saying there's no plan B, he will wait until January. And Manchester United love when somebody says we'll go with what we got. So the Glazers are like, yes, cool. That's another dividend bet. And then Eric Ten Hag is like, I'll make do with what I have until January, then we go again. I could totally see that happening. And is he the right player? If Eric Ten Hag says he's the right player, I'm not the right person to disagree. So that's all I'm going to say on those first two. On the third aspect, how long am I willing to wait? I don't want to wait till January, because we've seen this club throw seasons in October. You
spin.
Like, yeah. You know what I mean? We've seen this club throw it all away in October, and then what? This is a weird season on top of all of that. The clouds around the World Cup. What if something happens to Frenkie? Like what? Like there's so many. It's fluid. There's so many variables that you got to work around. It's all a bit crazy, but it's really, really sad. Barcelona and Manchester United are doing like a Dragon Ball Z thing. We're gonna stick with that theme. That they fused, the two most inept clubs fused in this transfer market. You know what I mean? They did you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did that. And now we got the fat goat tanks and not the real one. And it's like that's what we have going on right now. It's Barcelona are moving like the drug addict that owes you money, and Manchester United move like how Manchester United always move. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Barcelona is moving crazy. Like they're buying more drugs when they owe us money, when they owe Frenkie money. Like you can't get around this. It's all crazy. So I'm not surprised that when Barcelona and Manchester United team up to do a deal, it's a shambles. I'm not surprised. I
said it's the fat goal tank. Sorry, that's funny in that, because that's facts, yo. The fusion went wrong, yo. The fusion's
effed. Like the
fusion's mash up. Yeah,
it went wrong. Right. Now we got to sit back and wait till they pop back out and try again. Yeah. And that's really what we got going on. So I'm not surprised at the level of ineptitude when you combine Barcelona's spending habits with our ineptitude in football. Makes sense.
Yeah. Nah, absolutely. And that's why I said I'm not highly critical of United. People are like, why don't United just sign him? Why don't United just sign him? I don't even know what the rules are with this, because they owe him money. People are like, why don't Manchester United just pay De Jong the money that Barcelona owe him, which I think is messed up anyway, and then we sign the player? I don't even know if that's legal. I don't know if another club can pay the wages of a player of another club. I don't think you can do that. I don't think a club can do that, can pay the wages of a player who's employed by somebody else. I swear that is illegal. I'm not even sure. Like I said, look at the words that are coming out. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Like, I've never heard anything like this. Facts. But this is why Manchester United have probably never seen nothing like this. De Jong is probably befuddled as well. That's like, yo, what is going on? Like, pay me my bread. Like, they're playing him out of position. I've heard reports before, came out recently saying how he's unhappy with where they play him because he's more a 6, but they play Busquets there and they play him as an 8 and all types of stuff. So that's how I'm looking at it. With the De Jong one, I don't know if it's going to happen, number one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, see, Murtaza, I thought so. I was presuming it was illegal. So that's why when people are saying, so Murtaza says no flawless is illegal according to FIFA and UEFA rules for Man United to pay De Jong's deferred wages. Yeah. And it's not even like we can give the money to Barca because we can't trust them to pay him. We can't just give the money to Barca.
We tried.
They might buy another player. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. We tried to do that when we rearranged the deal that was already done, if I'm not mistaken. Instead of giving them such and such in add-ons, we said take another 10 million into the base fee and retract it from the add-on so you can just give him that money straight away. Frenkie can't say I want to leave because then Barca will just rip up the contract, and then how's he getting his bread?
Yes, facts. And 17 million people. It's 17 million.
I'm not moving for 50 quid.
Yeah, facts, yo. I said 17 million. I said, let my job owe me £17. I'm pulling up. Like, why is my paycheck £17 short? I clock in and clock out every day. Why is this wrong? I've been there when I've worked jobs. I've been there, and your pay is wrong. And I'm like, yo, why is my pay wrong? What is going on? I clock in and clock out. Like, you should be fully aware. Don't 17 million people. I don't care if he's a millionaire. Pay that man his bread that he worked and he earned for.
It's the principalities, Smokey.
Yeah.
It's the it's one of those. It's the principalities. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'll get on my Gandhi and I'll stop eating. I'll start protesting. We'll do whatever we need to do to get these M's. Like that's crazy. And now it's like I feel sorry for Frenkie de Jong because as a man of principle, you should fight for the money that you've earned. I've already deferred my wages to Barcelona, and you're buying new players, kicking me out the door, disrespecting me, and now you want me to just sit there and not take the deferred wages that nah. It's too much. It's too much. And now everybody at Manchester is looking at Frenkie de Jong like he don't want to come here. The top reds are going to be on his neck if he comes day one because of this saga. It happened with Paul Pogba. By the time Paul Pogba got here, all the juice and all the fun and pizzazz is already knocked out of the room. And they was like, okay, cool, Paul's here, great.
Well, that's legit it. And that's why I said I'm not critical of Manchester United. I'm not critical of him. I put this on Barcelona because as dysfunctional as we are, they're even more dysfunctional. Like I said, these men are broke or claiming to be broke, but yeah, you might have signed Lewandowski. You might have hijacking deals from Chelsea and signing Rafinha. You lot hijack the hijack. Saying you might sign Christensen. You might have tried got man on the books trying to do deals for Alonso and Aspilicueta. Like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? And Ashley here says, and I've started the messages as well, people, so we will get to all your questions. Make sure you hit the like button. As Eddie would say, chat mafia, let's bump them likes up as well. Ashley says, let us move on from the De Jong story. He does not want to come. We'll be having another Di Maria, Sanchez, or Pogba. Just let him rot where he is and let us go sign Nevers. The reason why I'm not moving on from the De Jong story, because King K touched on it. What does Ten Hag want? I don't believe De Jong doesn't want to be here. I believe that's a myth that's been put out there because not once has he said he don't want to be here. When has that reports come out? Like, when has he said that? Yes, reports and rumors have happened. Yeah, let me rephrase that. Reports have said that he's supposedly doesn't want to leave. But if that was the case, then what's the negotiation then? If man doesn't want to be here, there's nothing to negotiate. I've said this for the longest, but people were acting like they was in the boardroom with Ten Hag and they're on the phone calls with Ten Hag and De Jong. Bear in mind, these men have a relationship. They know each other. If he doesn't want to be here, to me, I get the thing of he wants his bread. Like, would he like to stay at Barcelona? Yes. But would he also go to Manchester United? Also, yes. I don't see why he wouldn't. Not once in any of the rumors or the reports has it said he doesn't want to be at Manchester United. He might have a preferred destination, but guess what? Those things happen. I'm saying that Ronaldo has a preferred destination. That's not Manchester United. But guess what? He's going to be here this season.
Oh, no, that's another whole story.
I don't see people saying, let's get rid of Ronaldo. Where's the same energy? This is what I'm talking about now. Like, you can't pick and choose for players you like. Ronaldo's openly come out and said, I do not want to be here. With De Jong, this is just rumors. And again, it's preference. Do everyone have of course people have preferences. Would he prefer to stay at Barcelona? Potentially he's settled there he is, but would he be opposed to going to Manchester United? No, he wouldn't. Because look at how Barcelona treat him. They owe him, not only do they play him out of position, they owe him 17 million. I wouldn't want to be there. But that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that. Yeah, I know from what Fabrizio Romano said. Fabrizio Romano said that De Jong does not want to leave FC Barca as everything has been agreed between Man United and FC Barca, and Fabrizio is an A-rated journalist. But that's why I said here, Ashley. I said his preference could be to stay at Barcelona. But that doesn't mean that he wouldn't be at Manchester United. Like I said, it's a closed conversation. What are they negotiating? I've said this before. What are they negotiating then if he doesn't want to be here? Do you want to be at Manchester United? Nah.
Click.
Of course, yeah, click. You put the phone down. And then Ten Hag moves on. Like I said, I'm not impatient. You know what I'm saying? It's all on It's all on what Ten Hag wants. And if Ten Hag's saying he's integral to his plans, that's what it is. That's what it is. I personally believe the 17 million is the thing that's holding it up. That because King Case mentioned it already. If he says I want to leave, then he doesn't get his money. Pay that man his bread. Barcelona's not an attractive proposition currently right now, especially for him. But each to their own, innit? Yep. Man, I'm saying, go on, fam.
The only thing about Frenkie is, the Dutch and Barcelona have a connection. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think he wants to burn that bridge. I think Barcelona is his dream club, just like how we couldn't stop Ronnie leaving us the first time because Real Madrid was his dream club. if you're 25 years old at the beginning of your prime or about to enter your prime, as good as he already is, don't you want to spend it at your dream club where people who come from your country, that is the pinnacle, Barcelona. You know what I mean? He's already there, but you got to take into account, dream club or not, to be a Dutchman playing for Barcelona or not, I ain't taking that level of disrespect. Like the levels of disrespect he's taking. You want me to take a COVID wage cut? Cool. Then before you guys reallocate your funds, you guys sell your TV rights, you do A, B, and C, and then you don't pay me my money. I'm sure he doesn't want to burn any bridges with Barcelona because that is a pinnacle club for a lot of Dutchmen. But it's time to go. He's stuck in a rock and a hard place. He doesn't want to slate the club that he loves. He wants to get his money, but he can't say that he wants to leave because then he won't get his money. So what do you do?
Yeah, and that's, like you said, the rock and a hard place, and because we've never seen anything like it. And Ashley also says, I just really want him to be a Manchester United player. Though. For Ten Hag to want him like this, he's really betting big on him because he knows him. It's not unknown quantity. You know what I'm saying? In that, like, it's not an unknown quantity for Ten Hag. This is somebody he knows, and he's integral to his plan. So when I hear reports saying, "Oh, there's no plan B," it makes sense. We wanted a manager that was like this. I can't say we. I wanted a manager that was like this. We was set like, this is the way I want to play. This is the players that fit the profile. This is the players we're gonna get. Okay, cool. I'm legit with that. So that's why I'm willing to wait and see what goes on with this De Jong deal, because it's not no ordinary deal. I can't stress this enough. We've never seen anything like this before in terms of Barcelona's movement and then owing him money. We've never seen ever. I can't remember, as far back as I've been watching football, I don't remember anything like as shady as this. I don't.
Yeah, this is different.
Is saying Barca will be forced to sell him anyway because even with both economic levers, they can't register players because of FFP. They would have to activate a third lever, and Barca don't want to do that. Big up Giannis here, who I'm presuming is a Barcelona fan. Let us know your thoughts on it, Giannis. A high-level football agent, it's outrageous what Barcelona are doing. It's morally wrong. He's already taken a pay cut and deferred wages. They're trying to guilt trip a player into going. They are. And then Ashley says, Christensen, Kessie, Torres, Dembele, Lewandowski, and other players waiting to sign for FC Barcelona. Where the hell is financial fair play? That's a great question. I have no idea where financial fair play is. I don't know where UEFA are. I don't know where FIFA are. I don't know what the La Liga hierarchies do. La Liga governing bodies doing. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I've never seen anything like it. And Malcolm, I think you're right here. He says, I just feel like Barca are being sentimental with the fact because De Jong loves the club. They think he'll just take a wage cut and forget all of this happened. Yeah, man, they're trying to do fuckeries. Like I said, and I've said this for long, if De Jong doesn't want to be here, Manchester United should not go in for him. But I believe he would be happy being here. Could he have preferred destination? Yes. But that's most players. Not most players. A lot of players who move are like that. Their number one destination. Ronaldo's number one destination wasn't Manchester United. Originally, it wasn't. When he came here last season, it wasn't at all. And that's why you're trying to dip now. His preferred destination is definitely not Manchester United now.
We look less attractive 12 months later.
12 months later, a part of him, and he's a part of that. But that's a whole different conversation that we're going to get into as well. Yeah, Malcolm, I just read your comment. Skinny Man says it's peak. Yeah, man, it's peak.
It is. It's peak.
I ain't never seen anything like it. And back to Ashley's comment as well, because I did want to get to this. When he said it will be a Di Maria, Sanchez, or Pogba, I don't believe any of them failed because they didn't want to be here. They failed because of the things built around them. Everybody fails here. During that period, who's been successful? Nobody succeeds here because we don't have a system set up for players to succeed. That's what it is. We don't. Legit. Like, you can say, yeah, under Mourinho, we won a couple trophies under Van Gaal, but that was pretty much it. Like, that's how I look at it. But speaking of that, obviously, players not wanting to be at Manchester United. Your thoughts? Cristiano Ronaldo, talk to us, King K.
Cristiano Ronaldo, for me, if he wants to go, he can go. That's my initial thought. I'm just going to be 100% consistent. When we signed him, I wasn't over the moon like Statman Bainsy. I was like, okay, he's 36. I was watching him in Serie A. Like, he looked. Remember when Pepe, when he was playing for Porto, pocketed him in Juventus? Cristiano Ronaldo.
He did great. But King K, let me just cut you off there. Just one sec. Big up to Daniel, who's gifted 5 Sarcasm City TV memberships, man. Man's gifted 5 memberships. Big up my guy Daniel every single time. Sorry to cut you off there. And if you want to join the membership, people, the link's in the pinned comment. Big up to my guy Daniel as well. Sorry, go on. Carry on, fam. Carry on.
Big up with the donation. But yeah, so I was watching Ronaldo a lot. Serie A helped him prolong his prime, if that makes sense. I don't think he was in his prime anymore. He hasn't been in his prime since Real Madrid let him go. But because Serie A is slower, it's more defensive, it's more tactical, he was able to look like he was closer to his prime than he was for about 3 years. But if Pepe is pocketing you at 40 years old for Porto,
don't say that.
That's what happened. Like,
what happened?
These man, come on. You saw
that's what
it.
Ronaldo was done, man.
That's
what I was like, at the highest level. I was like, he's finished. I was like, he's not it. Go on, carry on.
I saw him tripping over his feet to get a penalty, like crying and smacking the ground. I was like, and then we signed him like right after that. You know what I mean? So I was just like, Ronaldo's going to score some goals, but I don't think it's going to really change anything. And lo and behold, what happened is the goals that he scored would have just been the goals that Bruno would have scored. It's like nothing much really changed. But I'd let him go just because I don't think he's going to score goals, but I don't think he's going to solve any problems, or I don't think he's going to build or take us to the next level that Erik ten Hag wants us to go to. So when you combine all of that with all of the circus that comes along with Ronaldo, is the juice worth the squeeze? For me, it's not.
Is the juice worth the squeeze? That's fine. I like that. That's fine. I've spoken on it in depth. That's what it is. Like, you said everything there that you mentioned many of things there that I've mentioned in regards to it, and him in the Champions League, and just him not being it anymore. Again, can he be a part of a team that is successful? Yes, I believe so. I just don't believe he can start week in, week out. Like I've said, Manchester United target the Europa League. He could play a key part in that, 100%, because he's still good enough at that level. Ronaldo is more than good enough to help Manchester United win the Europa League. He'll score so many goals, group stages, knockout, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, 110%. But to be starting week in, week out with what Ten Hag wants to do, and you see it with the friendlies, as well. That's just not Ronaldo's game.
It's not.
And people take it as a shot, like he's 37, like it's not a shot at him. I don't want any 37-year-old leading the line for my football club.
That's long. That's long.
Any 37-year-old. Is there exceptions to the rule? Yes, in terms of like the age Benzema's at, because Benzema's 35. Like if you give me like that, that's cool. But Benzema, I guarantee you in 2 years won't be leading the line for Real Madrid if he's not performing at that level. If he's performing at that level, he will be. We've seen Bayern Munich move on Lewandowski. They're exceptions to the rule. You know what I'm saying? And when you're trying to play a system and fluid football, he's just not a modern day number 9, which is okay. The same way Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not a modern day fullback. If you put Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the 4-4-2 era in the 90s, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Where you don't have to be on the ball. Now, if you look at it, Gary Neville said this. Wingers have to be fullbacks and fullbacks have to be wingers. When you look at the best fullbacks in the league, they are all as comfortable on the ball as your technical players, as your attacking midfielders, as your wingers, as your strikers, your Robertsons, your Trents, your Cancelos, like all of these type of players, your Cucurellas who City are looking to sign, all of these types of players. I'm saying all the best fullbacks are like that. So it's kind of like, that's how I look at it. And he's just not a modern day striker, but people will get onto King K or get onto me and be like, oh, why are you being so critical? Because it's not what I'm talking about. What is he doing right now in 2022? Not what he was doing at Real Madrid in 2016. Because what he was doing in 2016 don't matter for Manchester United Football Club. What are you doing now? But we'll see. And on top of that, people keep forgetting this. He does not want to be here. He said this. Well, reports came out. He didn't rubbish it. But when the reports came out saying, he was looking at going back to Sporting, he rubbished that straight away. He said that's fake. But he didn't rubbish the reports he wants to leave. He didn't rubbish the reports that he had been offered to Chelsea. He didn't rubbish the reports that he'd been offered to Bayern Munich. He didn't rubbish the reports that he'd been offered to Atletico Madrid. Well, unless you know there's truth to it. And I'm not mad at it. I understand why he wants to leave. I get it. I would get it. I'm like, go on, King.
I do the same exact thing if I was Ronaldo in his position. So 2 things that I want to make abundantly clear. It brings me no positivity, laughter, happiness, joy to sit there and say these things about Ronaldo. I remember when he won a Ballon d'Or for us. You know what I mean? I was a teenager. I was about to turn 2020, I think. I don't remember the exact time, but I was in university, and I was like, oh man, Ronaldo was on a different level. And I was so sad when he said he wanted to leave. And I was so grateful for Sir Alex Ferguson for convincing him to stay one more year.
Yeah.
And he was on different smoke. I remember it. I was there. It brings me no joy saying this. And it's just sad. That's what makes him great is the same thing why he's down bad now. The best athletes do not know when to hang it up. Like it just as much as it makes me sad to watch Ronaldo holding on to the goalpost and having Bruno pick his chin up. That was sad for me. Like I remember that last season. Like that was sad for me. It's a bad moment. I remember Ronaldo screaming after the free kicks, not huffing and puffing, holding on to the goalpost. It's like I didn't like to see Jordan with the Wizards just as much as I don't like to see Ronnie come back. It's you know what I mean? Certain things are just should be left where they are.
I use it all the time. You don't want to see your favorite boxer box on too long. That's why I wouldn't want to see Floyd Mayweather come back now and be trying to box all of the young welterweights or, you know what I'm saying, or super welterweights. Like, no, like, you have to know when to hang it up. And in football terms, because it's a team game, you can change your game. We've seen players do. Ryan Giggs is a prime example of a player that did that. He changed his game. He altered his game to get more out of his career. And that's why he was playing up at the highest level till he was 40. We've seen Paul Scholes do the same thing, like alter his game. And that's what Ronaldo needs to do. But in his mindset, he's still capable of playing at the highest level and the top level. And it's like, you don't bring me no joy because I'm like you, King K. I remember him when he landed. I remember the great years. He's one of my favorite players of all time. One of my favorite Manchester United players of all time.
Yeah, but he already changed his game. Yeah, he already changed his game. That's the sad part. Because the Ronnie I remember was running down the wing. You know what I mean? He don't run down. You know what I mean? Ronnie has already changed his game. And then that gave him another 5 years at prolific pace as it pertains to like stats. You know what I mean? He changed his game right when we started getting stats crazy in football instead of just watching the beautiful game where stats crazy. And he became a goal scoring machine. I respect it. But it's just like he already changed his game. And it's just like at 37 years old, the twitch fibers in his legs, and they're just not there anymore. He can't do it anymore. And that is okay.
And that's the thing is that's okay because people get to it. I was on Lewis's channel and we was discussing this because we was talking Chelsea, we were talking Havertz, and we was talking Ronaldo. And then man got to the point and was like, he's 37 now. And I was like, yeah. And that's why I'm not saying it's his fault. I understand that he's 37. Big up Eddie as well. I hope you're enjoying your holiday, fam. He says, hit the like, people. Shout out the boys. Welcome to the dark side, King K. Big up
shout out Eddie.
Every single time, and that definitely gonna get you two on here at the same time at some point. And he says, Chat Mafia, I'm on my vacation, but I'm still out here. Get the stream up to 20 likes, so I'm pulling up. Let's bump the likes up. We'll get to your questions as well, people. We will, don't worry. Ashley says the problem with CR7 is that he wants to be the center of it all. He should now realize that he plays for Manchester United, and it's not the other way around. At 37, it's time for him to be more of a team player. I agree with you. I agree with you. If he was happy to be a squad player, I'm with it. Like 110%. I'm with it. And yeah, Jazz, man, you said it here, man. Watching him do step overs now hurts, man. I'm not trying to see that.
They're dead step overs, man. I'm sorry. They're dead step. I can see him coming. You know what I mean?
I'm not trying to see that. But we'll go to this from Ashley because you mentioned this. And then obviously we'll talk about Lingard as well. But what are your thoughts about the reports linking Memphis to a return with Manchester United? So Ashley, with this, I wasn't a fan of Depay when he was here so much. I've not watched too much of him when he left. It's because my brother Tox is such a big fan of him. It kind of was like, I was waiting to see something because like Depay gets all this praise, he gets hype. And do I believe he's a good player? Yes, I believe he's a good player. But I don't believe he's anything spectacular. I've not watched him at Barcelona week in, week out to be like, has he improved or has he not? King K mentioned how he's become more of a central player. If Ten Hag wanted him, I wouldn't be over the moon about it, but I wouldn't be opposed about it because I know the manager's going to sign players, pick players that I don't like, and I definitely don't know better than him. So in Ten Hag, I trust in that sense. So we'll see what go on with Memphis. Would I want him back personally? Because he's going to play down the middle. No, I believe there's better options. I would rather us go and get Ivan Toney. I'm not going to lie. I would rather us go and get Ivan Toney. And again, not Ivan Toney to be starting week in, week out. I'm talking about squad players because Cavani left. We need a striker. If Ronaldo leaves, we need 2 strikers. So go get Ivan Toney, go get another striker. And then people turn around and say, oh, the striker market's bad. No, the obvious striker market is bad. There is
Correct.
millions of footballers out there, hundreds of thousands of footballers worldwide. Manchester United have the resources. Ten Hag knows strikers as well. Go sign it. Go locate a striker to fit the system, which I believe they can do. But your thoughts on this, King Gay? The reports of Memphis return to United.
For me, I was excited for Memphis when he first came. Unfortunately for him, I think it was a situation of he went from being the biggest fish in a little pond in the Netherlands to coming to Manchester United still a little too young. You know what I mean? He was just a little too young when he came to Manchester United. There was a lot of pressure. He grabbed that number 7 jersey. That number 7, it's hard. You know what I mean? Ronaldo broke the curse. Prior to that, the number 7 is how you. It's long. So coming to Manchester United at what, 23, 24 years of age with the number 7 on your back. And what doesn't help him is his personality. He's a flashy dude. He was dating Steve Harvey's daughter, this, that, and all these things don't matter, but you know how it is when you play football for Manchester United. You know what I mean? You dance the wrong way or you dance at all, you get slated. He was too flashy, too young. Now I think he's at a better age, 27 years of age, 28 years of age, somewhere around there. He's playing in his natural position based on what I see. Like, you know what I mean? As a winger, he was always a bit hench. So now that he's more central, I think it's going to work out for him. Also, he's Dutch, and he knows how Erik ten Hag would want to play based off of the Ajax connection. So I'd say go for it. But Tony, I would say go for it as well. Either or, I really don't mind because some of the weight of passing that brother can do. You know what I mean? Some of his link-up play that brother can do, that's what we need in that number 9 right there. So Tony's link-up play, his level, like his link-up play, his ability to come deep and grab the ball and spray it out to the wingers, it's hardcore.
Absolutely. Like I said, with Martial, my biggest issue with Martial is him staying fit. I've said this before, it's all about the availability. But with the Depay thing, it's kind of like, I would back the manager. I can't sit here and say, yeah, back the manager. And then if he signs someone I'm not too keen on, I can't be like, oh, that's a terrible signing. With Depay, he does know the system. Maybe he gets the best out of him being Dutch. And Prime says here, why not Depay and Tony? I'm not opposed to this. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
Prime, I'm not opposed to this. If I have striker options are Martial, Tony, Depay, I just want it to be, the only issue I would have with that is I want it in that order. So I'd want Martial to be first choice, Tony to be second choice, Depay to be third choice. Of course, if Martial gets injured or his form falls off, then Tony gets his shot. If his form falls off, he gets injured, same with Depay. I want competition for places all over the pitch. And if those 3 are our options, cool. I think people are forgetting as well because the Premier League starts in 2 weeks?
2 weeks Friday.
2 weeks. It's like, I was even going through I was just going through the August schedule just of the channel. And I'm like, rough. And then I was looking at Europa League as well. It's like, yo, Europa League's right around the corner.
Yeah,
like, I think it's either 2 or 3 weeks in September. It's Europa League and Premier League games. And then you add in the FA Cup, the League Cup on top of that, and then the World Cup. Like, the season's stacked in terms of games. So we're going to need all hands on deck. And this is why I keep preaching about Manchester United, not only getting quality but getting quantity. This is why I want 3 strikers. This is why I want 5-6 wingers. I want 3 players for each wide spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in the midfield, I want 6-7 midfielders. Centre backs, I want 5 or 6. Full backs, I want 4 or 5. Thanks. Because yes, you're going to need, but players are going to get injured. Players are going to get injured. Players are going to get tired. Like, you look, we're playing on a Thursday, and then I think we're playing, is it Europa League on a Thursday, and then I think we play Arsenal the following Sunday or something like that, like 4 days apart. Then there's another Europa League game, then another league game. Like, the games are there, like,
thick and fast.
Absolutely, they are. But Prime, why not Depay and Tony? Yes, I would like that idea. I would,
and that's the main reason why I don't want to get Antony, although it's not anything to do with his own ability or anything like that. But we need multiple players. You know what I mean? I would go grab Tony and grab not Anthony Martial and Depay. But you can't do that if you just spend the whole 60 M's on just Anthony. And watching Erik ten Hag's system, the last game that we played, there's a lot of interchangeability between that front 3. So because of that, I want somebody like Memphis and Martial, because they both go left, they both go central, and Sancho can play left or right. And just for that, I can see Depay working with Martial or with a Rashford, because Rashford would like to come centrally for a couple of minutes just to get a goal, then go back out wide, or vice versa. Same with Martial. So.
Yeah, so it makes it fluid, and it gives And it gives Ten Hag more options, and it gives more potential problems for the opposition as well, which I also like. Dominic says Tony or Skamaka would be perfect for us, but since we now have Dutch players and a Dutch coach, I'll take Memphis as a squad player. I'm not seeing a lot of Skamaka. I only watched him in the Nations League, so I can't even comment.
Same.
But yeah, with Tony, I'm all for that. I've seen enough to the point where I'm like, yeah, it's a squad player. And yeah, Depay as well. Memphis is a squad player. It's fine. Like, that's good backup to have. That's good depth. And it keeps Martial on his toes as well, which I also like. Like, I'm not trying to see anybody be complacent, and I don't think they will be. I do not think they will be. I don't think they will be. Let's get to it. Murtaza, as always, you know what I'm saying? Always calling someone a bum. This guy is ridiculous. Lingard to Nottingham Forest, apparently done. He did his first part of his medical last night, according to Romano. This guy fell off Mount Everest. What a bum. Didn't go to West Ham last summer. One, I'm going to push back. Lingard's not a bum. You say it's a bad decision, but he's definitely not a bum, number one. Number two, I agree with you in the sense, Murtaza, he should have went West Ham. I said that. He should have went West Ham. But he chose to go Nottingham Forest. They seem to have dropped the big bag, I'm guessing that. So he did what was best for him, innit? He went where he went and got the most money. I have no issue with that. This guy's a Europa League winner, FA Cup winner.
Scored the goal, too.
You know what I'm saying? And that played in a World Cup. Like, I think it seems he's gone for the big bag. No matter where the money went.
You can't be mad at it.
King.
Lingard isn't a bum. Like, when you watch him, his off-ball movement, you know what I mean, is off the charts. If he was in a system, like I like Lingard. If he was in a better system under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he was the only player that played like that. Like, you know what I mean? I could see in the right system players like Jadon and Lingard linking up well together because they have a lot of the same similarities. They're not pace and power merchants. They are technical footballers with a football brain. They're going to pass and move and find the space. And I think because of the way we played with that counterattack Ollie ball under the last 3 seasons, people didn't realize how good Jesse Lingard is. Be that as it may, I don't think he was good enough for Manchester United if Manchester United are where we are supposed to be. 2 things can be true at the same time. Jesse Lingard's a quality footballer, quality Premier League proven footballer. He can play in the Premier League. He can play in the top half of the Premier League. Not a problem. But he's not the guy to take Manchester United where Manchester United was, where I grew up, or where we should be. And both things are true at the same time. I'm happy for the kid. He got a lot of scrutiny and a lot of unwarranted slander on his name from, in my personal opinion, just because of the way he likes to lead his life. And that's not for me to judge because it's not my life. So I wish him the best. I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United where we want to be, but it's been a long journey. He has memories. He has FA Cup defining moments. He has scored late winners. He's a Europa League winner. He's a big time player, but I don't think he's Manchester United quality when we're supposed to be.
Absolutely. And that's what it is. Like, I believe in the correct system, he could have been an effective squad player, but I think it was just too much water under the bridge and it was time for him to move on. And I believe also if what didn't happen with number 11, he probably would have got moved on. I think that scuppered the plans as well. Because we can't let you go. We kind of need you right now.
Yeah, you know that screwed over a couple of players.
He's a bum because he's not a serious footballer. He'd rather vibe with the boys and take training pics with CR7 than go to West Ham and challenge for Europe where he was spectacular in the loan run. So because he makes one bad decision, he's a bum. See what I'm saying in that? He's like Murtaza, man. We gotta use our words correctly in that. Because he makes one bad decision, he's a bum. I agree with you in the sense of, yes, he should have went back to West Ham, but he made a mistake. So because he made an error, is Ronaldo a bum because he came back to Manchester United and shouldn't have? No, he just made an error. Footballers make errors. Like, these things happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of energy where, like, a player will make one mistake, and I'm not saying Murtaza does this, but people do this on socials. A player will make one mistake or miss one chance, and he's terrible. He's no good. This is way over the top. He's made one bad decision, people. Again, let me reiterate this enough. I can't say this enough. He should have went back to West Ham. I agree with that. He made an error. That's it. Before this, no one's questioning him. Now he's gone and he's decided to go Nottingham Forest. Again, I'm just speculating that he's gone for the bag. I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? It's the last big contract of his career.
Yep, 29 years old.
Go? And Nottingham's not too far from Manchester either. 29, he's going to go there. They're going to build the team around him. They're going to love him at Nottingham Forest. Guaranteed you, they are going to absolutely love him at Nottingham Forest. And if he helps them stay in the Premier League, he'll go down a hero for them.
100%.
Nottingham Forest haven't been here the longest. What, he's getting around 200K a week. Hey,
Hey,
Get
big
your
bag.
what's it called? Get your money.
Big bag,
Again,
close to home.
would I prefer to, from a selfish standpoint as a fan, prefer to see him at West Ham or a team in Europe? Yes, because he's good enough. But I'm not going against that man because I ain't turning down 200K a week.
And he's close, and he's close to home, and he's had some issues with mental health and family issues as well. Everything, you have to put everything into perspective. I haven't set a foot in that man's shoes. I know he's been through some stuff with his mental health, and I know he's been through some stuff pertaining to family issues that I don't know the ins and outs about. But that may have been a driving force as to the reason why he stayed. Just like I think Donny went to Everton as opposed to another club because Liverpool is close to Manchester.
Yeah. People talk about mental health and stuff like that. And I know people that know his family, he was going through stuff. Like some of it came out, and like that's where Ollie should have stepped in and been like, and let him take a break. But without, you can Google this people and see he opened up about this about his issues. You know what I'm saying, with family members and stuff like that. But make sure you hit the like button, people. There's over 40 of you lot locked in. Let's get them likes up. Let's shoot these likes up, please. How many likes are we on? We are currently on. So we're not even at 30 likes, and there's over 40 of you lot in there. Get the likes up on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. And yeah, this is it. Everyone makes mistakes. I think his love for United and believing in Ollie made him think he'll get his chance. We all make errors. All these things happen. Footballers make errors because humans make errors. Shock horror. Yo, you're right. That's why I'm not going to call him a bum, because he's not.
Yeah, Ollie's lies hurt a lot of people. Jesse Lingard included. Eric Bailly comes to mind. Yeah, there's a bunch of players that Ollie lied to about play time and everything like that because he was just running a happy-go-lucky camp. And I think Jesse, that's what he was doing. Everybody had its own vibes, man. Happy-go-lucky. You turn up for training late, you turn up for training early. Don't matter. Just go home before the sun go down. We'll be here tomorrow.
Yes, facts is pretty much that.
And he was just lying to catch. You're integral. You're integral. You're integral. And he never comes off bench. So I'm you know what I mean? In an emotional state like that, I would be more inclined to make a less informed decision.
Well, when people make like emotions and you hear me say there's a lot of people, emotions like can cloud your logic, and these things can happen. Like I said, he just made a mistake. He made an error. I'm sure if he could go back, he probably would go to West Ham. Well, he said, now he's gone Nottingham Forest, where he is going to be. It'll be interesting to see what other business they do, but I'm guessing he's going to be the main guy. Like they're going to build that team around him, and maybe he just wants to be loved. Maybe he wants that. Have we ever thought about that? Maybe he's like, you mentioned it with the pie, with the big fish in the little pond. Maybe he's at the point where he's like, yo, I want to be the big fish in the little pond.
That's
rather than be the medium-sized fish in the big pond, or little fish, or in West Ham's case, even though he was good, you're not the biggest fish, but you're one of the big fish. Maybe he wants to be the main man. Maybe he wants to,
the one and only.
Basketball, he wants to captain his own team. He wants to drive the bus.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to lead the team. Maybe. I'm just saying, this is all speculation, people. But I'm going to be watching Nottingham Forest and see how he does, and I wish him all the best.
Me too.
Let's goes on to say, what's your guys' best 11 with all the new signings? And we get De Jong and Antony. So, all right, we'll throw De Jong and Antony in the mix. Give us your 11. Formation King K and your 11 as well. Opening day of the season.
Oh, yeah. We're probably going to play Erik ten Hag plays a possession-based double pivot. So I'm going to do the same exact thing.
So you go with the 4-2-3-1. Cool.
Delo at right back. The Congo don't even want Wan-Bissaka. Like it's long. It's like
he's spitting.
No, it's facts. Varane, if healthy, at center back on the right, and then the brother from Argentina. His name is escaping me right now. We just signed him.
Oh, Martinez.
Martinez. Yep, it's right there. Yep, Martinez on the left. Malacia at left back. In the double pivot, I'm probably putting, if we have De Jong there.
Yeah, because in this discussion, you said De Jong. Yeah, De Jong's it.
I'm putting Fred and De Jong in the pivot. I want Fred to just do the destroyer thing and find De Jong as quickly as possible and make a pass. Give it right to him. In the pivot, just based off that 15 minutes that I saw, Donny was on different smoke playing with that first team. So that's a shout. I'm really not sure. I'd put Antony on the right.
Yeah.
I'd put Sancho on the left. I'd put Martial up top because we don't have anybody right now. And that number 10 spot in the hole is up for debate. Bruno Fernandes, I'm not his biggest fan. He plays basketball.
So who was in your pivot? Was it De Jong, Fred? Was that your pivot? Okay,
yeah.
So now you're picking your 10. Right. Cool.
Yeah. In the double pivot, I got Fred for his tenacity and his ability to get around the pitch. And I got De Jong there for to make up for all of Fred's deficiencies, i.e., press resistance, passing range, things of that nature. And up top, I put Martial at the number 9, Sancho on the left, Antony on the right. And that number 10 role, I'm really not sure. I'm not a huge fan of Bruno, but I know Bruno's probably going to get some game time. For me, it's just I just don't like watching Bruno because it looks like he plays basketball on the pitch. I don't like to watch it. So I'd probably personally go with Donny.
Yeah, it's
but
your team.
I'd personally go with Donny, but I could see Bruno in there. And then off the bench, I'd have Bruno and Rashford coming off bench.
Yeah, then all of a sudden, look how much the bench. But before I answer this question, the bench is all of a sudden stronger when you look, because even yours, Eric Bailly, you know what I'm saying, is off the bench. You've got Bruno off the bench. You've got Eriksen off the bench. You've got Rashford off the bench. All of a sudden, the bench looks slightly stronger. Diallo off the bench as well. Like, these are good options to have. With me, my team is exactly like yours. I think. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I would have obviously De Gea in goal. Yeah, Dalot, Malacia as my fullbacks. Varane, Martinez would be my centre back pairing, 100%. Pivots the same for the same reasons. Fred, De Jong, Donny, even though I want an improvement on Fred. Antony on the right, Sancho on the left, Martial up top. So my team is exactly the same. That would be my best 11. But then obviously, like I said, look at the players also that are on the bench. You got Shaw on the bench, you got Tellez on the bench, you got Bailly on the bench, you got Lindelof on the bench, you've got Bruno on the bench, you got Eriksen on the bench, you got Rashford on the bench, you got Diallo on the bench. All of a sudden, our team, look, I just named 9 players. All of a sudden, the squad looks better. Because like I look at most of them players as squad players. Go on, fam.
And that's the beauty of it, right? So when you buy new players, like what we did a few transfer windows ago didn't make no sense. Don't buy bench players. Buy starters and let them sort it out amongst themselves.
Nice.
And that's what we need to do. Buying Tellez, we seen what happened with that. Shaw was good up until the World Cup, and then that was it. You know what I mean? Not the World Cup, the Euros. My apologies. But it's like it's one of those. Buying starters will make the bench solve itself. Now we got players on the bench that need to be on the bench. McTominay shouldn't be near the first team. No, that's true. Yeah. They did. Eric Bailly still in pain. Jesse Lingard in pain. Paul Pogba in pain, but not here. He went back home because he's like, yo, I like to go where I'm not lied to. Like,
you go where you want. You go where you're loved. 100%.
Go where you're loved.
Common sense.
Ollie's lies hurt, man. They hurt.
They're loving that quote.
Yeah, they hurt. Like, people, I don't like to talk about Ollie too much, but like, people don't realize, like, Ollie set the club back like 5 years, and he was only here about 3.
Yes, he did.
Like,
people forget what he did. Yep,
he set the club back some good 5-6 years, but that's basically it. The signing these players will cause what I ultimately want. McTominay on bench, Rashford on bench, Tellez and Shaw on bench. Eriksen, Lindelof, Eriksen, bench. Yeah. Eric Bailly on bench until Varane gets hurt, because you know it's going to happen. And that's that. And we didn't even talk about the captain. I don't want him on the bench.
We're gonna get to him. That's a good point. We're gonna get to him because he got booed, so we're gonna get your thoughts on him as well. Because obviously we haven't spoke, so I don't know exactly your thoughts on that. But we're gonna get to that. Speak to Jez as well. Says Martial wanted to leave and Ollie told him he'll get game time. Then CR7 came in. Facts. He also says Nottingham bought a few good players. Let's see how they gel. And we'll get to this. Don't worry, Dan, I will answer that question as well. Big up the panel. Do you now see Ronaldo leaving before the Premier League season starts with all these wage cut news and everything? The problem is him he wants to go to a Champions League club. We've seen already that the top Champions League clubs don't want him. Your Bayern Munich's, you know what I'm saying, your Chelsea's, the two places that needed strikers. Neither of those 2 teams want him. Forget Liverpool, forget City. PSG are going in a different direction, so forget. That's probably the 5 best teams in Europe. Now you're talking about the second tier of European sides. He was linked with Atletico Madrid. Reports are Atletico Madrid would take him. He would like to go there, but they have to shift on 2 players. Now, can Atletico Madrid shift on those 2 players? If they do shift on those 2 players, I could see him going to Atletico Madrid, yes. Well, that's it. His options are very, very slim. Sporting, he rubbished. So you don't want to go back to Sporting. He still wants to play in a major like European
top
league.
5 league.
So it's top 5 league, which is not Portugal. So forget England because there's nowhere for him to go that offers that. Forget Italy because AC Milan, Juventus, Inter, forget that. Spain, forget Real Madrid, forget Barcelona because they just signed Lewandowski. So France, PSG, no. So the only option really right now, viable option left on the table is Atletico Madrid. But yeah, go on, King K.
Yeah, no, that's facts. Yeah, it's just it's Atletico Madrid. It's just really sad. It's because it's multifaceted with Ronaldo. The market for obvious strikers is not a lot of that top tier, that S-class striker, those world-class strikers. What is it? You got Kane, you got Haaland, you got Lewandowski,
Benzema.
and Benzema. Those are the four. Like, I can't name a fifth.
Yeah,
and if you can't even name a fifth, and Ronnie don't got nowhere to go, and he's talking about 30% wage cuts, it's long. It's bad. It's bad. I can't name 5 S-class top tier boom strikers.
They're not. They don't exist because they don't really exist no more because the roles slightly changed and you get more false nines. And I don't think the false nines are world class. Whereas your wide players are now your world class players scoring the majority of the goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
man. We'll see with Ronaldo. Like I say, the Atletico Madrid links is there. Unless there's a team someone in the chat can think of or Kinky, I can't look at a team that's in the Champions League, that's in one of the European leagues, that needs a striker and also that can afford him even with a wage cut.
No, there aren't any.
The wage cut. There's no one like Sporting was the only one I could think of, but that got rubbish. That, like I said, all the Spanish teams up outside of Atletico Madrid. There's no English teams. Chelsea said no. PSG said no in France. Italian teams don't even like. Yeah, so that's it. It's long. England, Spain, Italy, France. Bayern Munich said no, so that rules out Germany.
That's Germany too. Like that's everybody. That's everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
And how do you think he would take to Atleti? Do you think they would welcome him there with that city rivalry? Or like
it's all about success. If he brings them a La Liga or a Champions League, yes, they'll love him. If he don't, then they won't. I like football fans, I say it all the time, football fans are fickle, including myself. It's all about success. You could go get our arch rival right now. You could go get Mo Salah, who plays for the Ops. If he lands and wins Manchester United Premier League and Champions League, I'm getting a shirt with his name on the back. And that's just what it is. We don't care about that stuff. Like Michael Owen, who played for the Ops. Yeah, man. Michael Owen, who played for the Ops when he scored that goal against City when we won 4-3, that late goal, celebrating. I always stick it on Arsenal. Van Persie's one of my favorite United players because he came in and helped us win a league title.
No, because you're right, though. Yeah, no, you're right.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
And then
Van Persie was an Op.
You know, he was until he wasn't.
Until like, oh, you bring me success, yo. Oh, Robin Van Persie. Like that's what it turned into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's what it turned. That's what it turned into. So it's like I've just mentioned Michael Owen, who played for Liverpool, Van Persie, who played for Arsenal. Like as a fan, and I'm just honest enough to admit, we don't care as long as you bring success.
Yeah, I love me some RVP.
RVP, of course. We love him so much. We blank out that he played for Arsenal.
He didn't. He only had 2 seasons in England. Like I don't even know what you're talking about. He came here, won the league. He had a fallout after Sir Alex retired. He said, "What? I'm out. Cut." All right, Arsenal.
That's it. Arsenal, like that's legit. But people forget he was there for years as well. It wasn't like he was there for 2-3 years. I know he didn't play much because of injuries, but I swear he was there 6, 7, 8 years. You know what I'm saying, like, because he was there a long time, but people forget it. You know what I'm saying? But
it's about where you went.
That's because he was successful here. So because he was more successful here than he was there, it's like, yeah, that's our guy. Arsenal fans don't like him.
It's where you win at.
It's where you win at. That's what you remember. It's where you win at. You mentioned it with Michael Jordan. I don't remember Michael Jordan on the Wizards.
He was dropping 40 at some point, and nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
Nobody.
Like, yo, Michael Jordan, Bulls. You know what I'm saying? And he's a Chicago Bulls legend. No one talking about him on the Wizards.
He looks weird in blue. He looks weird in blue. It don't even look right.
Even look right. It's crazy. It is. Brian also says Ronaldo was linked to Napoli. No, what happened? He was linked, but the links just went quiet, Brian.
Yeah, I forgot about those links because how quiet they went. They only lasted for about 24 hours.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't know Napoli's financial state, but I know Italian sides in general don't have great financial backing, so their wages, I'm guessing, would have been an issue for Napoli. And Napoli in the Champions League.
I think they are. I'll double check. They did just get rid of Koulibaly, right?
Let me. Yeah, they did sell Koulibaly. Yeah.
So they may have some money.
I'm literally gonna 1 second. Let me check Serie A right now and see. Let me have a look. Yeah, league table and see. Make sure you lot get the likes up as well, man. Get the likes up on the video, whether you're watching this live or watching this back right now. Let me see.
If you don't do it for my man Flawless, do it for me for my first time on the ManDem United podcast. Please get the likes up, like, share, subscribe, help out the algorithm, people. Please. If y'all don't, I'm gonna have to fly out west, and y'all know who I'm gonna come back with, and he's gonna do something wrong to y'all, probably pertaining to Arsenal. I got a feeling. Don't make me go out west. It's a whole different country out there, even though it's not a different country at all. I just don't make me go get my American brother, please. Let's get them likes up.
100%. Let's get the likes up. And yeah, they finished third, so they'll be in the Champions League naturally. But it's not if they can afford him or not. Even with that, it's more so the wages. I don't think the transfer fee will be too much, but they all kind of went quiet as well. Prime also says, I haven't watched your preseason games live, but I've seen Twitter comps. Have you guys noticed that your captain has been playing right-sided centre back? Is that because that's where he'll play when Martinez comes in? Potentially, it's Martinez and one other.
Correct.
So I could unfortunately see Maguire playing, but is what it is. Go on, King K.
I've watched the games. Maguire's playing on the right, and I think it's all based on Ten Hag's system. I think Ten Hag doesn't want a right-footed, left-sided center back. I think that makes him want to throw up. So, so he's like, nah, we're not doing that. I know you said you was a left-sided center back, but you play on the right. I think it's one of those. Manchester United have looked pretty good in the preseason. I've been waking up at 6 a.m. to watch it. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, the game that comes on Saturday at 5:45 in the morning for me. That's going to be fun. But we've been looking good in preseason. My favorite standout is probably Anthony Martial. I'm a big Martial fan. He looks leaner, so that's my whole thing. He looks like when he had the number 9 jersey, when he had the number 9 kit the first time. I think when Ali came in and then Ali came in and gave him the number 9 back and told him, you're going to be my striker. I think he bulked up a little bit too much. And I think that's what caused some of those knee injuries. It's all just speculation. I don't have an inside source. Go ahead. Oh, so I don't have an inside source or anything like that. But if you ask me, Martial put on some pounds. He got hench in the gym to go play that number 9 role. And I think it adversely affected his form among a bunch of other things as well. But Martial has looked really good on tour. Jadon Sancho has looked lights out on tour. I'm still a little worried and skeptical about Rashford. Rashford looks sharper. Rashford looks fitter, but it looks like that mental block is still there. I really feel sorry for him. He really looks like he's still lacking confidence in a major way. The tour's been pretty good. I'm just ready for the season to start. Outside of that, who else has looked pretty good on tour? Donnie looked pretty good in his 15-minute cameo from like the 45th to the 60th minute on our last game. I was really worried about Donnie van de Beek on those first 2 games. He didn't look like he was quite up to speed. Maybe that's a fitness issue. I remember seasons past, Jesse Lingard always looked better than everybody else because he was naturally fit, his body type. Maybe Donnie has a little bit of the opposite of that going on, where it's one of those ones where he has to work himself into fitness, kind of like how Wayne Rooney would come back off of an injury and look off the pace for a few matches. It took him about 3 or 4 matches to get game match speed. So I'm hoping that that's what's going on with Donnie van de Beek. But outside of that, that's pretty much that. What are you guys telling me in the chat? Let me pull the comments up. Bear with me 1 second, guys.
You're also all good, fam. Man's back. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you're good.
Live job, everyone that is locked in. Yeah, man, no stress. All good, it's all good. Speaking of that, because obviously he's been mentioned, Prime mentioned him as well. Maguire, your thoughts? Because he got booed in the last preseason friendly. We don't know if he was our fans, opposition fans, both. Your thoughts on him? Talk to me.
Me personally, I think it's cultural differences for me. I don't have a problem with booing. I know that there's a problem with booing. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's cultural. I'm from Philadelphia, y'all. We got one of the most. We're infamous. Yeah, we're infamous for being hostile. For our American football franchise, way before I was born, we got so angry one time that we threw snowballs at the halftime show people. It was Santa Claus and everything like that. We threw snowballs at them because we were so angry. So, like, for me, booing is cool. I just want everybody to keep the same energy with the booing. You can't come out and have a rescue party, a whole evac crew for Harry Maguire, and then you slate other people who aren't as bad and don't have the blooper reel that Harry has. And then you boo him and disrespect him. on different levels. I'm not going to name any names. I'm sure we all know what we're talking about and who we're talking about. My personal stance on the booing, Harry Maguire is so deluded. He's so up his own ass. He doesn't live in reality. So I don't think he takes well to the booing. So he has people come out and defend him. I'm not a huge fan of somebody who can't understand why they're booed. If you want the boos to stop running to your agent, stop leaking crap, stop getting your sister to talk, play better. That's it. It's simple, point blank, simple. I don't have a problem with the booing because, like I said, in American sports, it's just part of the thing. Like we give middle fingers to people, we boo people, we threw snowballs at Santa Claus. You know what I mean? It's different. It's different out here.
Snowballs at Santa Claus. You know what was going on?
Happened.
Was it a basketball game? What happened?
It was an American football game. It was an American football game, and we were getting destroyed by our rivals. I wasn't alive yet. This is a long time ago. It got so bad that the boos, we booed the players into the dressing room. And then we hadn't gotten out our frustrations. The halftime show comes out and people just start throwing the snowballs at them, just chucking boo. So like booing is fine with me as long as I'm an equal opportunity booist. That's all it is. That's all it is. You can't turn a blind ear towards certain people being booed because they're foreign players or because you don't like the way that they dress, they dance, or they act off the pitch. You can't boo them and not boo the others. Boo everybody equally, and I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, same energy. Big up my guy Cams as well, because he says wrestling crowds in Philly are some of the most hostile as well. To be fair, it's mad. So he must have heard that watching wrestling. That and it seems to be that. Watching NBA, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And that whether you're hostile to your own team or the opposition, I've seen it.
Everybody see that viral meme of Russell Westbrook getting the double bird by Philadelphia Sixers fan, just screaming at him. It's just, you know what I mean? We're different in Philly, man.
Love it. And like you said, it's all about same energy. So like I'm opposed to it, but that's from me because I don't boo. I'll criticize players, but I won't boo a player when he's on the football pitch because it's like I want the best from him. But if you're gonna boo him, make sure you boo everybody. And if you're not gonna boo him and defend him, then when you're a player you dislikes getting booed, you have to keep the same energy. I'm against it totally because it's like all about them getting the best out of the player. I don't think that is the perfect time to criticize the player at that moment in time with Maguire. Like why he got booed before the game, I'm unsure. I wouldn't boo him during the game. Afterwards, if it's poor performance and we've lost, he doesn't help himself. If it's a poor performance and we lost and you boo him, cool. Because he's like, he's done something wrong. But he doesn't help himself as well. And I don't like the whole, like you said, captain, you got to save him and all this and all the defense. And Roy Keane said on Sky Sports, we're trying to do some PR up here for him. Like, no. Criticize him the same way you would criticize anybody else. Criticize him the same way you lot sit up there and criticize Pogba. The same way you lot would sit up there and criticize Ten Hag or would criticize Sterling or whoever. You know what I'm saying in that?
Yeah,
it's not that. That's not what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't respect it because I remember the pundits, the same pundits after a loss. You know what I mean? Ex-Manchester United pundits and stuff, just saying the first thing I do is I grab Fred, and I'm like, yo.
Yeah, that's what Joaquin said. Yeah.
He said the first thing I do is I grip Fred up if I was in the same locker room. So how do you have energy for Fred like this, and then you got different energy like for the captain? The captain is like, we're trying to help him out. We're trying to give him a good little piece of PR. And then for somebody who's not the captain, first thing you do, you want to grab him up, grab the captain so that he can grab Fred.
Yeah, facts. That's the captain's job. And again, that's why I don't like is just keep the same energy in regards to criticism. You can't pick and choose. I dislike someone. They're being criticized, so I'm just gonna so that's okay. Whether it's a player I like, no. Because I'm not a player. I say this all the time. I'm not a player FC stan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Manchester United FC stan, so I want what's best. That's what it is. That's what it is. Dan here is saying, is it true that Donny might be a non-future plan anymore? It is because he just ain't good, or is there something we don't know? Maybe laziness, because this past 2 seasons just not working for him at all. It's just systems. He's not had game time.
Yeah,
that's been the problem, Dan. He's not had game time. Under Ollie, he didn't have game time, which makes me convince me either 2 things. Either Ollie didn't know what to do with him or didn't want to sign him, or both. Secondly, game time. How many times when has this guy started 3 games in a row in a sell position? It's not happened. And then he went to Everton under Frank Lampard.
And it was panic stations. Yeah, it was panic stations under Frank Lampard. Like, come on. Oh, speaking of Frank Lampard, did you
talk about it?
Did anybody see the game yesterday?
Super Frankie Lampard. I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Man, Frank down bad, man.
He's such a bad manager. Man.
Who's worse, him or Ollie? Real quick.
Ollie.
Worse than Frank, you think?
Yeah. He's worse than Frank. As much as I don't rate Frank, at least when he was in the championship, he kept Derby in the playoffs. Ollie was going to get Cardiff relegated. People forget that.
Yeah,
they was on their way to League One.
Yeah, they were.
At least I believe Frank Lampard could manage in the championship. I think he can do a decent. We've seen it. Like, yeah, he didn't get Derby promoted, but they went from 6 to 6. Cardiff, people forget this. Cardiff were on the way to League One when Ollie was sacked. Talk to Cardiff fans; they'll tell you he's our worst ever manager.
To this day. They hate Ollie to this day, and I hear that. But yeah, no, it was just bad. Everton, Dele Alli Alli's in the mud, missing a sitter from 2 yards out, like literally 2 yards out. It was a bad watch. Like, it was just a bad game. I think Chelsea was also on, and that they didn't have a good time.
Yeah. Because I was on the Chelsea fan TV watch along. Shout out to Lewis and the whole gang. Yeah, that wasn't a good watch.
Did you see that fake Panenka from Gallagher?
Yeah, Gallagher.
Oh,
good job. It's a friendly. That's all it is.
You the hardworking dude. Just do the hard work stuff.
Do the hard work. Do the Cobham stuff. Flawless, you cooked me yesterday for my Chelsea takes and their dead football. Did you watch yesterday the start of the mighty downfall? We move in silence still. Bataza, this guy was trying to play victim. One, I didn't cook you for your takes. I just disagreed. Two, I've never said that football is great. Three, I did watch yesterday. And when you say the start of their mighty downfall, for what? Because you think Spurs are going to finish second. My point stands the same with Chelsea. I believe they are the third best team in the league with the third best manager, with the third best squad. I expect them to finish third. I think they'll be there or thereabouts in the Champions League. They'll be there or thereabouts in both domestic cups. And we've seen that this year. We're in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. They made both domestic cup finals. Like, that's where they'll be. I know you like getting on the Chelsea fans because, Peter, you two went back and forth about the Midwest and the West Coast. Hey, that's some American beef. Is what it is. And then obviously the other Chelsea fans as well. That's where it stems from. Because him and Peter were going back and forth because he's a Bulls fan, innit? So he started with basketball. And then Peter started dissing Chicago. Then he started dissing LA. And then that's where it stems from. And then it spilled over to United,
into
Chelsea.
The Prem.
Yeah, into the Premier League. And now I got caught in the crossfire. I'm like, this ain't nothing to do with me. But Chelsea are a better side than us, Murtaza. I don't know why I don't get the attack of them. I'm lost as to why Chelsea is the one. But then again, you said you think Spurs finished second in the league. And I think that's blasphemous. But here we are.
I think Spurs will finish third. I think Chelsea will finish fourth.
Fair enough. You know what I'm saying? And that's much more fairer than Chelsea falling off. Like, Spurs second. No, I think the top two are the top two.
No, the top two's patent. Unless, like, I could see a world where Liverpool drop off because I'm a big believer that Sadio Mane was the driving force, like the nucleus of that Liverpool revolution. When God, I can't remember Klopp. Yep, when Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool. You know what I mean? He had, Nathaniel at right back and stuff like that. His first signing was Mane, and Mane was the driving force behind the culture changing at Liverpool. And I think when you subtract the Mane and you add a Darwin, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be great. It's going to be a long season.
It's not going to be great potentially, but the reason why I still think that system is so good that Nunes will be all right. They still have a manager who's capable, and they still have, even though Mane, I believe, is a loss, they still have all the other pieces around. Like, Alisson's still there, Van Dijk's there, Kanate's there. You still have your fullbacks with Trent and Robertson, Fabinho, Thiago are still there, Salah's still there, Jota's still there.
I like Jota too.
Been good. So I think they'll be all right. And that's what stems in with the Spurs-Chelsea thing. Is like, Chelsea still have the nucleus that is still there. You still have Mendy. Thiago Silva's there. You still got Reece James. You got Chilwell, Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante. Even though Kante is not what he once was, you still have Mount. These players, and then you add in a Koulibaly, a Sterling, a potential Kunde. That's, to me, still good enough to finish third. That's don't rate the teams chasing them down. Like, I think Spurs have improved, yes, but I don't think Spurs have improved to the max people are talking about. Have United improved? Yes, but we still have levels to go. Arsenal, I actually think, all jokes aside, have done good business with getting Zinchenko and Jesus. I don't think it's enough to close the gap. I don't think so. Well, we'll see.
I think we're fighting for fifth with Arsenal, if you ask me.
Yeah,
I think we're fighting for fifth with Arsenal. Speaking of the signings, Raheem Sterling looked really good when he came on yesterday. Me personally, I prefer him on the right, and I when I was watching, it looks like he's playing more on the left. But he's so much better than anything else that they got that he picks what side he wants to play on. If you ask me, you want to play on the right, you want to play on the left. I don't doesn't much matter to me. He looked
Miles better.
Yeah, he
Miles
looked
better than what they have.
yeah, better than Pulisic, better than everything that they got. And people forget last season, Chelsea's season fell off the cliff when they lost their wingbacks. Their wingbacks are essential to their attacking system, and they lost their wingbacks, Reece James and then everything was rough. Everything was rough.
Absolutely, but people don't add the context to that, and that's why I always talk about systems and having certain personnel for it as well, certain personnel for your systems as well. We're gonna close out shortly, people. In the next 5, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If Origi can look decent under Klopp, Nunes surely can't turn out that bad.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Like in terms of the system will cover up his deficiencies. Is it enough for them to close the gap on City? No, I still think they'll finish second. But again, they'll be there or thereabouts in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They'll be there or thereabouts in the domestic cups. I put them and Chelsea in the same bracket.
I agree.
The Champions League, in terms of the cups, they're two of the best. They're two of the better teams in Europe. Wherever you want to rate them, but they're two of the top 5 in Europe. I think it's the 3 over here: Real Madrid,
maybe Bayern.
Yeah. Throw Bayern, PSG. That's probably your 6. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably your best 6. So with that, that's how I'm looking at it. But again, we all will be told. I'm ready for the season to start. I've said this already. Like I'm ready for the season to start, and it starts very, very soon. I think it's legit. It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks Friday.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks Friday. So we get to see Arsenal get moved to by, I think they play Bournemouth away.
You gotta love when they put Arsenal on a Friday night, man. Get your popcorn ready.
They know what they're doing.
You're smart.
Exactly what they're doing. Smart, yeah. They know, like the universe knows what it's doing. The FA, they did it last season when they played Brentford opening day.
And they had the Brentford fans crying. Oh, it was beautiful. Oh, scenes, man. They had it's lovely. It was lovely stuff.
Absolutely. You knew what was going to happen. So hopefully it happens again. And like I said, people, with the season starting soon, you will get Premier League watch-alongs here on the YouTube channel. So you get Manchester United watch-alongs. Sometimes, obviously, other teams as well. You'll also get Manchester United Europa League watch-alongs. You'll get Champions League watch-alongs here as well. And then, obviously, when the NBA starts back, the regular season, that'll be over on the Twitch as well. So just keep it up. Keep a lookout on the upcoming live stream schedule. And regards to YouTube, you'll still get your ManDem Uniteds as well. You'll still get your Q&As over on the Twitch. Like I said, NBA, you'll get your fan calling shows, pro clubs. I was literally running through the list yesterday. I was writing this down yesterday. I was like, oh, there's so much coming up. So I'm looking forward to the season. And the World Cup will probably, the watch-alongs for that will probably be on here as well, people. I think that's it. I think we covered. You know what I'm saying? And I think we covered everything. And Prime, you're right. Arsenal on a Friday night, they're pre-drinks, appetizers. They're the movie trailers before the film starts. Facts.
All
exactly
facts.
What they are.
All facts.
100%.
All facts.
But yeah, man, I think that's it. I think we've covered everything to my knowledge. Yeah.
I think that's everything. Right.
So we're going to close out the show, people. The ManDem United podcast will be back Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. But you can catch it here every Tuesday, every Thursday, 5:30 p.m. on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube channel. Don't forget it's available on audio platform as well. So if you listen SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever, audio only, you might want to listen while you're at work, while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, or you might just not want YouTube up. I want to listen in a more traditional podcast platform that's calm. Links for those is underneath in the description, as well as the membership. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share it across all the socials. Subscribe. King K, man, big up having you on as well. Anything you want to add before we leave?
Not too much. I just wanted to say thank you for having me on, Flawless. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you everybody in the comment section. Thank you everybody inside for listening to me talk for about an hour and a half. I appreciate and love each and every one of y'all. Support the channel. Is one of the hardest working people in the YouTube, in the Twitch universe. Love and respect. Get the likes up. Get the algorithm popping. Because if not, I'm going to have to go out west. And I've only been out west one time. I'm going to have to go get my West Coast goon.
Facts, yo, West Coast goon. That's exactly what he is.
He's a goon. I respect it. You know what I mean? He's going to come down here and, he's going to have to handle his handle. Eddie going to have to handle his handle. Don't make me go out west and get Eddie. It's a 3-hour time difference. It's only like 11 o'clock over there right now. It's 2 o'clock here right now. Don't make me do it, y'all. Please.
Facts. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? But love every time, man. Big up for joining as well. Definitely
Thank you
get
for
you
having
back
me.
on as well. I already knew that it was going, the fans was going to fuck with you from when we did the fan calling show. But yeah, people, speaking of that, what we got coming up tonight. So I'll be on Rance's Twitch in 10 minutes, people. So head over to Rance's Twitch. Me and Aaron will be over there. And then midnight, well, I'll be back on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch for the fan calling show. So the show is all for you lot. That's how I met King K. He called into the fan calling show. And see, look what happened. Now he's here on ManDem United. So call into the fan calling show, people. Call in. It's a show all for you lot. You can talk anything sporting related. You may have questions for us. You may want to disagree with us on something. You may just want to rant about something, whatever. Just make sure you have your camera on, face facing forward, and make sure you know what you want to talk about. Well, yeah, man, love to everyone that has locked in. And this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up.